I would like to tell the following story of Zhuangzi's conversation with a skull and explain the fixed phrase or 成语 from this story. 视死如归 to regard death as going home. It is very interesting that Zhuangzi also talked to a skull like Hamlet just a little over 2,000 years ago. In Hamlet's monologue in this scene, he lamented about the loss of a dear friend, the unavoidable decay of human body, and the sorrow brought by the death of a dear friend. Of course, the skull did not respond. What Zhuangzi reported in his story is a true conversation, because the spirit of the skull came to his dream after he asked his questions. Now, let me tell you the story. Zhuangzi went to Chu. He saw a skull by the road, bleached but still in shape. Tapping it with his whip, he asked it, "Did you, sir, stray from the path of reason and come to this? Or did you bring about the destruction of a state and were punished by an axe? Or was it that your disreputable conduct brings disgrace to your parents, your wife, and children? Or did you perish from cold and hunger? Or did you live to a natural end of your life?" After talking to the skull, he made a pillow of it and went to sleep. At midnight, the skull appeared to Zhuangzi in a dream and said, "The way you talked to me was like an orator. What you said were the entanglement of life. There is no such concerns after death. Would you like to hear the views of a spirit?" Zhuangzi said, "Yes, I would like that. In death, there is no Lord above or subject below. There is no business to attend during the 4 seasons. Tranquil and at ease, our years are aligned with heaven and earth. No king in his court has greater happiness than what we have." Zhuangzi did not believe it and said, "If I could get the Lord of our destiny to restore your body to life with its bones and flesh and skin, to give you back your father and mother, your wife and children, and all your neighbors and friends, would you like me to do so?" The skull looked sorrowful and said, "How could I relinquish my contentment greater than that of a king and take on the worldly burden again?" As you can see, the spirit simply dismissed the questions and said that those were no longer concerns to him after death. The spirit stated that he was no longer confined by the social hierarchy, burdened by the needs of make a living, and enjoyed the peace and comfort as long as the heaven and earth remain, and even rejected the temptation to get his life back. It is quite clear what was valued the most by the spirit is freedom. The freedom from the imposed restriction by social hierarchy, physical needs, or the elements from the natural environment, such as the seasonal changes, etc. It is quite interesting that Zhuangzi also contemplated life and death using the imageries of facing a skull, just like Shakespeare. But Zhuangzi's response to death sounds almost like a Christian story of going to heaven. However, there is a critical difference. At the other side of death, unlike the Christian teaching, there is no loving God waiting for a spirit. Instead, the spirits simply return to where it comes from. That is, the ceaselessly transforming Tao. This is where the fixed phrase, 视死如归, or to regard death as going home, come from. The moral of this story is that the key to happiness is not power, wealth, or fame. To obtain our happiness, we need to overcome our fear and anxiety about death. In other chapters, Zhuangzi also talks about his taking on diseases, disability, and dying. According to Zhuangzi, it is not the suffering or death that bring us misery, but the anxiety and the fear of suffering and death that ruined our happiness. One can be in pain but still be happy. One can also celebrate a loved one's passing and be happy that he or she lived a fulfilled life, or they are released from suffering or pain. For Zhuangzi, to die is not the end, or entering the terrifying unknown. It is to go home, to where we all come from. Of course, one can still mourn the loss, but as long as we remember our loved ones, they are not dead to us. They have simply gone to where we all come from, and they will come back, although might be in a different form. This is the magic of Zhuangzi's story. It helps to take away our fear and anxiety and offer immense comfort. However, over the centuries, as Confucianism increased its dominancy, this term was reinterpreted with added Confucian values, such as loyalty to one's king or emperor, as in the case of this poem, or as a generic patriarchal value as used in modern Chinese literature, where 视死如归 simply means the willingness to sacrifice one's life for one's country. I'm Dr. Gao, a philosopher obsessed with poetry. I make videos about classical Chinese poetry, philosophies, and traditional Chinese medicine. Please click the like button and subscribe my channel so that I can provide more high-quality videos for you. I also offer one-to-one online lessons on these subjects. If you would like to read the original Chinese text with me, please contact me. Here's my email address. Thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you next time.